So I mentioned before that Compass Control is an IP-based system with an iOS brain. So we rode that initial iOS wave. We grabbed our surfboards, like I said. And coming out at that time, we were able to benefit. We were the beneficiaries of everything already being solidly network based in the industry and beyond, in the world, really, isn't it? So let's talk to you a little bit more about what is Compass Control and what does it mean to be an IP-based system that uses an iOS device as its brain. All the project information loads into each iPad, into each iOS device, not into your master controller, not in your control processor, okay? They actually just take commands from the iOS device. So all the information loads into the iOS device, not just the graphics, the variables, but also the commands for controlling each device, okay? And all the controllers, they live on the network. You could have as many controllers as needed, iOS or master controllers. We also support global IP communication. So if your if your site has a site IP address, then your iPad can communicate into and control the system from outside of the local area network. With the master controllers, there's no master slave. You don't have to choose one piece of hardware to communicate to, and if you have a very large system, have it then distribute the communication to other controllers. You don't have to do that with this system because every device just has its own IP address, right? And so we'll give an example of that in a moment. But also, as I mentioned earlier, the iOS, if it's controlling a device over the network, not over IRRS-232, it can just communicate directly to it. It doesn't need to go through that master controller. So here's an example of this. If you have an IR and RS-232 device, in this case, we actually have one master controller, our MC1000, and we have another master controller that is either our CX800 or one of our 4K AV over IP master controllers. And in this system, and it's fine for them to mix and match within that same system as this as depicted here. And in this system, if the iPad needs to control devices A through D, they're all connected IR or RS-232 to the master, the MC1000, and that has its own unique IP address. So the iPad, you press a button that's going to control one of those devices A through D, the iPad begins sending those command strings to the MC1000 on its unique IP address, basically telling it like, hey, port number 2, your IR, and here's the IR burst that you're going to send. Or port number 6, your RS-232, and here's the baud rate and the string. Same thing, if now the user presses another button that is going to be communicating to devices E, F, or G, well, that's a separate master controller they're connected to, which has, once again, its own unique IP address. And I wanted to show this, both of these controllers, because again, you can mix and match, but also just so you could see right off the gate here that, we have one that if you like to work with 3.5 millimeter ports, one that if you'd like to use Phoenix connectors, we have options for you. And we have a hardware discussion coming up here in the course where you'll see more details on these different master controller options. Now, how does this look in the Compass Navigator software where we do our programming? You can see here we build a tree on the left here. We build a tree where we have our MC1000, for example, and we just enter the IP address of that MC1000. And here in the properties for that MC1000, which is something anytime you click this MC1000 on the far right of the screen in Compass Navigator, you got the properties for whatever you've clicked last. And so if we need to change it up so that port 2 is RS-232, port 1 is RS-232, excuse me, port 2 and 3 are IR, or voltage sensor or voltage trigger as we go down this column here. If you can see my mouse, that is all just done very easily. You don't have to really configure anything. In the master controller itself, it's through the Compass Navigator software, because the master controller, again, takes its orders from the iPad, which is the brain. Similarly, one of our 3-port controllers, CX800, or one of our AV over IP encoders or decoders. Here we see the exact same kind of process, just having its own IP address and choosing the configuration for each port. Now, if you're controlling a TCP IP device, then once again, we don't use any ports of the master controllers at all. So now with Compass, you always need to have at least one master controller. You always must have at least one master controller. Even if you have all IP controlled devices, you still need one piece of hardware in the system. But here we see an example of just one IR TV, one IR controlled Blu-ray player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different IP controlled devices or systems. And so the properties of those devices look a little different. You get to enter the IP address of the device itself, not of the master controller. And then the iPad communicates directly to those devices, not via the master controller. And if there is a two-way driver, as we see in these devices here, they all have a two-way driver. So those devices are also communicating back to the iPad. The iPad is the one running the two-way scripting for parsing those devices.